Hi, I'm Harish Koteti and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll continue our session on AWS Observability, the first pillar which is monitoring. So here's the agenda for today. So we'll do a quick recap about what observability is, and then today we'll understand what is monitoring. The pillar one is really monitoring. So what is monitoring? The 5 reasons to implement monitoring. Then I'll give a quick introduction of Amazon CloudWatch, and then we'll understand some basic terminology of Amazon CloudWatch. So let's dive in. So observability, as I said in the previous video, it's a definition invented by Ari Kalman, and and then on the right you have the AWS definition. Let's focus on the AWS definition. It's really how well you can understand what is happening in a system, often by instrumenting it to collect metrics, logs, or traces. So basically, what we are trying to do is we're trying to make sure we understand everything that we can about a system. It could be an application, it could be a resource on AWS. Basically, that's what AWS definition of monitoring is. Again, three pillars of observability. Pillar one, monitoring, done by CloudWatch. Pillar two, logging, done by CloudWatch logs. Finally, pillar three, tracing, which is AWS X-ray. These are the three pillars that we need to understand, and that I'll cover a lot in the future sessions as well. So today we're talking about the pillar one. What is monitoring? Monitoring can tell us that an application or resource is not working properly. That's all it does. So it tells us, hey, there's a problem with your resource. So that's what basically monitoring is. Not going to fix it. It's not going to change the state of the application. It's not going to do anything. It's just going to tell us that an application or a resource is not working properly. So why you need to implement monitoring? These are the 5 main reasons that we need to implement monitoring. The first one is a reduce business impact from IT issues. Doesn't matter why you, I mean, doesn't matter how many systems you run, how many resources you run on AWS. The reason is always to achieve some business outcome, to achieve a business result. So if we implement monitoring, so every system that you have in your business is tied to a business outcome or a business result. So we want to reduce the impact of that business. We need to reduce the business impact from these IT issues. Let's say there is a system for order fulfillment, and that is not working. Then obviously the business will get impacted. We can't fulfill orders. So monitoring can help you reduce the business impact by telling us, hey, something is wrong. So that's one main reason. The second thing is improve the performance of the systems and applications. So you can't improve what you can't monitor. So like they say, right? So if you until you monitor it, you don't know whether it is performing to the level that you want, or at the maximum level that the hardware, the underlying hardware supports. You don't understand. So you need to implement monitoring so you understand that the baseline performance, and then you can take it up a notch if you want to, or if it is required for your business. So that's two. The third thing is capacity planning. It ties into the performance, but it's also works on its own. So when you monitor, that's when you know, hey, 90% of the time my memory is fully utilized, so that means I need to add more memory. Or my servers are fully 90% of the time, they are completely overloaded, or the CPUs are high, so that means you need to scale more, scale horizontally. So you will know how to plan your capacity based on the monitoring your systems. That's the third main reason why you need to monitor your systems and resources. The fourth one is automate issue resolution. So AWS provides a full suite of solutions to automatically. So once you monitor it, once you know that something is wrong, there are solutions like in Systems Manager. There are products, there are features that allows you to automatically resolve issues. So the first step is to monitor, to identify the issue, or to know that there is an issue, and then look at the logs and then take appropriate actions. That's the automation is possible only first if you monitor. So that's number four. Five is only save IT costs. So when you monitor, you will know if you are at a optimal state. So the biggest problem, a common problem with cloud resources is over provisioning. So many businesses would tend to over provision. So when you monitor, you will also know that, like, the other end of the spectrum is really, you will know, hey, only 5% of my CPU or memory or the servers are being used all through the day. So you get rid of some of them, so at least they run at 50% capacity in the remaining servers or remaining infrastructure. So ideally you will be able to save IT costs when you start monitoring your systems. So these are the five reasons why you need to monitor. You need to start implementing monitoring. So I hope that helps. So next thing is really to understand the Amazon CloudWatch, the terminology. So Amazon CloudWatch is really a tool to monitor resources, whether it is on premise or whether it is on AWS. You can monitor all the resources with Amazon CloudWatch agents. So now that we know what Amazon CloudWatch does, is basically it's monitoring tool. So now we need to understand the terminology. So here's the first one that we need to know. It's called metrics. Metrics are nothing but data about the performance of your system. So basically CloudWatch collects metrics, right? So the next thing is namespace. A namespace is a container for CloudWatch metrics. So the metrics are inside a container, and that container is called a namespace. The third terminology is really is dimension. So dimension is a name value pair that is part of the identity of a metric. So every metric has a name value pair to identify or distinguish itself from the other metrics, and that's a dimension. The fourth one is metric filter. So I mean, as name says, you have metrics and you create metric filters to extract what you want from those events and transform them into data points. So metric events is to extract the metrics from the specific part of the metric that you want from those events and transform them into data points. Finally, the fifth term that you need to know is metric retention. So it is the duration the metrics are retained in CloudWatch. So these are the five terms that I keep using, that that you keep coming across, and I strongly recommend that you remember these terms because they're going to be used a lot. And if you are not sure about these terms, the whole CloudWatch will be confusing. So I recommend you take a look at or make a note of these terms, so that you understand CloudWatch much better in the future. So I hope this session gave you an introduction of why monitoring is required and the very basic terms of CloudWatch. So if you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel so that you can learn a lot about AWS governance and management in the future videos. Thanks for watching, and talk